Divorce is something which is very painful and hurting. Not everyone wants to get into divorce. And when you see somebody is trying to get into divorce, maybe things have not worked. I don't say that divorce is something that you cannot heal from. You can heal after divorce. And I cannot say that divorce is good. It's very bad. But there is hope after divorce. If you have tried your best to maintain the marriage and the marriage is not working, you cannot die in a relationship. Life is more important than death, because marriage is not something that you can say that is going to take you to heaven. So you cannot condemn yourself because you have experienced divorce. Maybe you tried your best, maybe you prayed and things did not work. Remember, not all husband is coming from God, or not all the wives are coming from God. Sometimes also Satan can use a husband to destroy you. Satan can use a wife to destroy you. So you have to be very careful and ask yourself, where this husband of mine coming from? Is he coming from God? Where this wife of mine coming from? Is he coming from God? So those are the questions that you ask yourself. If it's not working, if you have tried your best, it's not working, please don't die in that relationship. Sometimes you have to divorce. But what happens after divorce, and what can you do so that you can heal from divorce? I have said that divorce is very painful and very hurting, but you can heal from divorce. And today, I just want to talk about how can you heal after divorce, the process of healing after divorce. Number one, you have to understand that divorce causes grief. And sometimes also it causes trauma. And this grief has 5 stages. And when you undergo divorce, you have to go through these 5 stages. So it depends on what you are going to do in each stage. So what happens after you have the grief, or what are some of the stages that you can pass through until you heal after divorce? Because I want to tell you, you have to heal, because you have to continue with life. So number one stage of grief is denial. When you get into divorce, the first thing that comes into your life is denial. You deny. Ni kana kwamba unakataa, because this person has come and umeona pepe imewekwa pale and is telling you that it's enough and I have to divorce. So you start denying that act and you ask yourself, is this happening? No, it can't happen. This is the time now you see a lady, they have divorced, but he keeps on texting the person. He keeps on talking to the person. He keeps remaining in the same house because he's denying that the act has happened. That is number one, and that is normal. And to see that you are in the denial stage, you will see that you keep on checking on this man. You have divorced, yes, but always you are following him. You are following him in social media. You cannot do away with the photos that you had. Sometimes you call him and you greet him because you don't believe, you don't accept that really it has happened, and you are in shock. So that is number one. So how can you deal with the denial? To deal with the denial stage, you have to make sure that you remove all the things that are going to make you remember the person that you are with. For example, if you have the photos in your phone and you have divorced, the divorce process has been completed. It's your role as a person to delete those pictures, to delete everything that makes you to remember, because if you will not deal with the denial, you will remain stagnated. So after denial, what happened? The second stage after denial is anger. You develop anger. And this anger now, you become angry with yourself. And anger, it's a sign to show you that you are really moving on, because if you will not develop anger, it means you'll remain in denial and you will not be able to heal. So also it's good to accept that you are angry with yourself and you are angry with the man that divorced you. And now in this stage of anger, you have to make sure that you come up with the ways to unleash that anger without harming yourself or harming the people close to you or harming the person who divorced you, because sometimes the anger makes us to do funny things, even getting to a place of shaming yourself because you follow this person on social media, you make sure that you are trying to hurt him. But the moment you hurt him, you hurt yourself. The moment you try to make sure that you try to prove that you are right and he was wrong, you hurt yourself and you may not be able to get to another stage. So it's good to come up with a good strategy to deal with the issue of anger, because the anger is very important to your life because it shows that you are getting to another stage and you're in the process of getting healing. After the stage of anger, you reach to a stage of bargaining. This is the stage whereby you bargain and you ask yourself, why me? Why has it happened to me? What is happening? What's wrong with me? Is it because I'm not good? Why it was not, why haikuhappen kwa yule mtu mwingine? Mbona haikutendeka kwa so and so? I have seen those people struggling. I have seen those people fighting, but it has not happened to them. Why it has happened to me? So now you start bargaining. You start bargaining and you start blaming yourself and and sometimes also you feel like you did a very big mistake. So that is the stage of bargaining. And this stage of bargaining, you have to be very careful because you have to deal with it. Although the stage of bargaining is good because it gives you an opportunity also to come up with a decision or to relieve some of the feelings of anger. But you have to be very careful in this stage of bargaining because it may make you to develop destructive behavior. To relieve that issues of bargaining, whereby you can start now becoming sexual immoral to prove that maybe you are right and moving to different partners and ujianike kwa watu kumonyesha the husband that maybe he did wrong and you are right, to prove to him that maybe you are so beautiful and people loves you more than him. So you have to be very careful in this bargaining. What are you supposed to do in the type of bargaining? You have to sit down and meditate and have a meditation. And there are different ways of meditation. I am a Christian, so I would advise you to meditate using the religious book like the Bible. Take the Bible and start studying. Remember, when the Pharisees came and tested Jesus, telling him that, is it right to divorce? Jesus did not answer them directly, but he told them, in the beginning, God created male and female. And this verse is very important because it makes you to understand that before you got married, you are somebody. Before you got married, you are living. And in the beginning, I have said that marriage is not a certificate to heaven. If it did not work, it doesn't mean that you are wrong. It doesn't mean that you are a sinful person. Maybe it did not work. You made a mistake in the process of getting married to this man. So you have to believe that before you got married, you are somebody and you are doing something. And from there, you will be able to gather the courage to move to another stage. Another stage after bargaining is the depression. Depression is very, very important. It's very, very important. You start getting depressed. And sometimes this depression, sometimes we take it something which is very bad, but in this level of healing after divorce, depression is very important because now it tells you that at least you are getting into a place whereby now you are concentrating on yourself. You are not blaming other people again, but you are concentrating on yourself. You are concentrating that you want to know what were my mistakes? What did I do wrong until this happened? So from there, you'll be able to come up you are able to realize who really you are and what things that you did wrong and made you to divorce or made you to contribute in divorcing. Because sometimes we don't get healing because we put the blame to the other party. And the moment you put the blame to the other party, you cannot move on with life. You cannot move forward. You cannot, even when you move forward, you will not be able to make it because you have not realized what are some of the things that you are doing wrong, so that even when you get to another relationship, you will be able to amend those things. You will be able to restructure again. If you got to that relationship wrongly, in this relationship now, because you have realized maybe this is why I found myself here. So from there, you will not repeat the same thing, because the bad thing is whereby you get into a new relationship with the same attitude, the same value, the same beliefs, the same procedure. Now that one, it means you are going to experience the same thing. But when you get into depression, it means you come to yourself now. You concentrate on who you are and you stop blaming others. So under this stage of depression, you have to be very careful, because depression, it can make you also to ruin your life. It can make you to have a bad experience of life, and sometimes also you can be able to develop what we call trauma. So what are you supposed to do when you get into this stage of depression? One thing you have to do, you have to form a good social support system. If you're a Christian, you have your pastor. You have to share this with your pastor. Have a conversation with your pastor. If you have good friends who are good, who can trust you with whom you can trust with information, sit with them, share with them, have fun. Make sure that at least you find something productive. If you're a businessman or you're a businesswoman, try to venture into business. If maybe you have money and you want to do something, maybe get to school to form another social group to deviate that energy to other something which is very productive, like education. You go back to school, study. Start now coming closer to your family. Make sure that your social support system is very strong, because that one is going to make you to overcome the depression and be able to move to another stage, which is the best stage ever to start a new life. And the another stage of healing is the acceptance. So the moment you reach to a stage of acceptance, it means that you have healed and you can move on with life. Acceptance is whereby it doesn't mean that you have forgotten everything. You understand really you are a divorcee, but you have accepted the situation and you want to amend your life and start again. You want to start a new life. Remember, divorce is not the end of life. Doesn't matter how bad it is, but it may happen. To those who are married, maybe it's going to happen. To those who are not married, you may get married, and the issue of divorce may happen to your life. So, but you have to reach to a stage of acceptance. You accept that really I was like this. I am a divorcee, but I'm not supposed to remain here. I'm not supposed to get stagnated. I have to move on with life. I have to start again. I have to start afresh. Doesn't matter when it fails, it will fail. The only thing that I can advise you is to know what happened. What mistake did you do until you reach that stage, so that you structure. So when you start again, you will be able to start it in a good way and have a great foundation. And a greater foundation, I told you, before you get into marriage, remember, it's good to undergo premarital counseling. That one is very important. Please, I want to tell you this. Divorce is not the end of life, and you cannot kill yourself. You cannot get into drugs. You cannot destroy your life. You can start again. It's you now to be very patient. Remember, before you get into acceptance, don't involve yourself in other relationship. Because when you involve yourself in another relationship before the stage of acceptance, it means that you are trying to massage your emotions. And after your emotions have been healed, you will see that maybe you made a mistake again, and you will suffer. So please, before you get into the stage of acceptance, don't involve yourself into another relationship. Just remain calm, remain cool, search on yourself, amend with yourself. Heal before you deal, because when you do, when you run quickly and get to another relationship after divorce, my friend, you are destroying your life, because you are going to be used, and after some time you realize that you made a mistake, and from there you will have a guilty of being used by many men. Please, don't kill yourself. There is life after divorce. I don't encourage divorce, but when it happens, there's life after divorce. If you have kids and you have divorced, remember you have children, and you cannot die and leave your children, and you don't know whom you are going to leave your children with. You can run away from that toxic family, from that abusive family, and be able to take care of your children. Encourage yourself, as David, the Bible says that David encouraged himself after a very big crisis, after people turned against him, after people made him to see that he's a loser. David encouraged yourself. I call upon you that you encourage yourself if you have undergone divorce. Thank you very much. Keep on following me in this channel. Subscribe if you are new to this channel, so that we can teach ourselves, so that we can allow God to teach us and be able to heal from divorce. Thank you.